He told me that this year's group is still very much a work in progress and that their identity has to start with connection. Keyshawn Nixon has not forgotten how that game ended because it all came down to a Bears game-winning play in overtime where he was in coverage. And on both of Chicago's touchdowns that night in Week 16, they went at him each time. Unlike golf courses that are built to be tough, this track is built to be fast. And come this year's Winter Games, Wisconsin's very own Ice Meister is taking that expertise to Milan. It's been a long 7 months since the Packers last walked off the field in Philadelphia. A loss that left a bitter taste, but plenty of fuel that gets its first spark of the preseason. Packers-Jets under the lights here at Lambeau Field. I'm Ashley Washburn, your pregame host. If Game 1 was any indication of what we could possibly expect here inside American Family Field tonight, I would say let's buckle up here for Game 2.
When you said you can't leave runners on base, right? So let's zoom out. The Packers still need to clinch a playoff spot, so I want to bring in some more baseball terminology here because their magic number is down to 1. They need to either win one of their final 2 games or the Lions need to lose one of theirs.
Coming off another first-round exit for a 3rd straight year, and that's why there was a little bit more drama this offseason than we've seen in recent years of speculation regarding Giannis's future and whether or not he still would be a Milwaukee Buck. The Packers were 2nd in the NFL in terms of red zone efficiency at nearly 70%. Over the last 2 weeks, they have gone 1 for 9 in the red zone, dropping from 2nd in the NFL to 16th.
Marquette, in a way, has kind of stayed old school. You guys recruit kids from high school, you develop them, and you let them grow into a program. What is it about that recipe that has made you so committed to that, but also these players that you guys bring in?
The Brewers could have gone one of 2 ways. Sign him to an extension, which would mean you got to open up those checkbooks, or do what we've seen them do several times now, cash in an impending free agent for a package deal. While spring training keeps Pat Murphy busy in Arizona.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Foul.
What was that?
It was a broken one.
It's what happens after the games that mean the most.
Oh,
he caught it.
Catch that.
3 outs. Nice play. I always say the kids spell love T-I-M-E, so I'm adamant about spending time every day.
Time that feels even more important during the grind of spring training.
Spring training is the time that is the most difficult because it's early mornings until the evening, and then these are the 3 or 4 hours I get with them during the day, so yeah, it's really special to me. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Evenings that typically end right in their backyard at Bob Welch Field.
Oh! Into the night. Don't pimp it, bro. Do not pimp it.
Not as the Brewers manager, just as dad.
When I'm hitting with my kids, I try not to be that hitting instructor, you know, and try to let them just enjoy it. And maybe there's a comment or 2, I can't help it. But, I just enjoy the time with them.
And in the end, the same lessons he's teaching here.
Wasn't looking again. Strike 3, 1 out.
Wait.
No, that's it.
I challenge that.
What?
Challenge it.
Okay, let's go.
Are the ones shaping the way he leads the Brewers.
For so many people, I think you'll always be evaluated for how you manage an organization, but I think some of your most important innings probably take place on this field.
No
How
doubt.
much of your managing within the Brewers organization really comes from being a dad?
Yeah, it taught me a lot. You know, I tell the story all the time. I was lucky enough to raise my son, kind of me and him. My daughter was in college, and it taught me so much. You know, I started to realize, you know, somebody loves their kid the same way I love Kai. And I better start treating those players like that. And it just helped me with this whole love and discipline thing. Yeah, it's molded how I coach. Double play!
A coaching style that's propelled MLB's smallest market, coming off a 97-win season, a 3rd straight division crown, and a trip to the NLCS. All shared with his 2 youngest sons by his side.
You know, it's funny, I struggle talking about legacy because who are we? You know, I'm no better than the next guy. So I like to just know that I'd like to adopt philosophies that spill over to my sons and my daughter. I'd like to live a life that they can look at and say, yeah, you know what? I got that from my dad. Knuckleball beats them all. Line drive down the line, it's an out.
Wisconsin may not have the mountains that Colorado or Montana have, but what it does have is the oldest collegiate ski team in the country. And for these Badgers, tradition matters just as much as terrain, even taking in beginners like me.
There are people on our team who really have raced their whole lives and are really good at it. And then there's some who have never ski raced before.
A mix of experience that's by design. Because with no varsity program, this team is completely student run. No coaches, no scholarships, just Badgers that love the slopes.
Madison's a really big school, and it's very easy to feel like a very small fish in a very big pond. So I really loved the team as a way to make that community smaller.
But make no mistake, these Badgers compete, training multiple times a week and have more than a dozen appearances at nationals to show for it.
You can get whatever you want out of the team. You can have a lot of fun, hang with your friends, or you can take it as seriously as you want.
So it was time to find out myself. And since it had been a year since I last clicked into alpine skis, I needed a quick idea of what I was up against.
For the common folk at home, like, how would you explain giant slalom?
Giant slalom, you're going faster. You're still touching the gates, but not really slamming them down like you are in slalom. I guess it's kind of easier to show you what it's like rather than explain it.
And that's exactly what Harper did.
We're going to start this and see how quickly she comes down this hill in 3, 2, 1. And done. 29.71. That was really good. Nice job.
But then it was my turn. And after making my way to the top, it was game time.
3, 2, 1, go. We're just over a minute. I predicted 50, but
I'll be better by 2030.
Yeah.
2030 Winter Olympics, I'm coming for you.
A girl can dream. From Merrimack, Wisconsin, Ashley Washburn, TMJ4 Sports. Jon McGlocklin earned a handful of nicknames throughout his career.
So Johnny with a hot hand.
Johnny Mac, the original Buck.
McGlocklin on the drive.
But these days, he prefers to go by Bob.
Get up! Get up!
It's a different seat compared to the one he held for more than 30 years with the Bucks.
You hugged it. Yeah, put it up there. Yeah.
But on any given game day for Kettle Moraine girls basketball,
Gotta get to her. She can drain them.
there he is, front row, center court.
Oh, man. I enjoy it much more than the NBA today because of obvious reasons.
Those reasons being his two granddaughters.
For us to see that for this 1 year where they're both there, it's priceless.
That's because while basketball has always been a family affair,
I just remember always when I was younger, my grandpa gets a chair out and sits on the driveway and is like correcting everyone's shooting form.
this is the first time Keegan and Quinn have ever played on the same team.
I mean, for 8 years, these two have talked about, they knew that they would be a freshman and senior. For 8 years, they have talked about, do you think for that 1 year, do you think there's a way that we could play together? Like, do you think Quinn could make varsity?
Motivation that drove Quinn to not only make the team, but also start alongside her sister.
I'm just so grateful that I've been given that opportunity, and I love playing with her so much. She's really pushed me in every way to become so much better.
Two sisters with two different play styles, but pieces of Jon seen in both. For Quinn, the rainbow shot. And Keegan, her athleticism, earning a D1 scholarship for track to Illinois State.
We're just trying to freeze time and have this year last forever because it's just so special.
An era of life that just might be Jon's favorite.
For where my wife and I are in our lives now, you can't put a price on this. It's off the chart, and I would think most grandparents would understand that.
At Kettle Moraine High,
That was a travel.
Ashley Washburn, TMJ4 Sports.